So today we are at University of Rochester, which accepts your 3-year education in India, learning about the life and cost here. Everyone, today we have Kavana here. She did her master's in business analytics. Today we will talk about her journey in New York State, business analytics, and much more about the job prospects New York brings to you.
Hello, you guys. My name is Kavana Kotikal, and I'm a recent graduate from Simon Business School, the University of Rochester. And I graduated with a master's in business analytics.
What 3-year program you did? BCom?
Yeah, so I graduated with a BCom in international finance from Christ University, Bangalore.
Uh-huh.
And I was working for Accenture before I decided to move to America. And I was working as a process developer analyst at Accenture. And it was completely to do with FP&A and a lot of accounting related stuff.
FP&A? What is that?
Financial planning and analysis.
I see.
And I just decided that this wasn't really for me. This wasn't the industry for me or a career. I didn't want to grow a career out of finance. And I'd already done an internship in data analytics. I was particularly within internal audit. And then I started doing my research about, different programs and what courses to pursue. And that's when I stumbled upon business analytics. It was the hottest topic during that time, it was during the pandemic. And I did my research and I found out universities and programs that had business analytics as their master's thing.
What was the biggest challenge when you were applying with a BCom degree in the US?
The biggest challenge was I did not have work experience with a technical background, not enough coding experience. So I love to start off as an analyst and then climb my way through into becoming a scientist. But it's a hurdle. I think it's important for every single person to take up some coding language, some programming language, because I know it's going to help you in so many ways. It's going to take you places, any industry, and it's obviously going to help you with your job search.
Now, let's talk about your fees at University of Rochester. Mm-hmm. So you chose to study there. Can you walk me through the finances and how you made it possible to afford it?
So the program that I applied for was a master's in business analytics, and my tuition would summed up to about $74,000, and my living expenses came up to around $17,000.
So 2 years. 70,000.
I started from July 2022 and it got over in December 2023.
So 1.5 years.
1.5 years.
So 1,000 per month almost.
Huh.
So it's pretty decent. Stony Brook also 800, 900 per month people spend even on campus. But like that, many people spend that much by sharing a room. Was it a private room for you?
I lived in this one apartment called Gola House, and total rent summed up to, it was a 2-bed, 1-bath, furnished. The rent summed up to $1,100 per month.
For private room?
For a private room. I got my own room. My flatmate got her own room.
Amazing.
And so if you divide it, we had to pay $550.
Really?
Yeah, per month.
$550.
I know, that's very, very affordable.
Oh, so because you chose off campus.
Yeah, I mean, this is provided by the University of Rochester. It's mainly for graduate and PhD students. But again, to get into these apartments, it's based on a lottery system. But I think this is a very, very convenient lottery system because I'd say about 80% of the students who are studying at UofR almost always get into university student housing, graduate student housing.
Got it. So now, how did you make it possible? Like $70,000 to $80,000, not a joke. Like NYU, maybe students pay amount, similar amount. So like, what was your journey of affording it? Did you finance with the help of your parents or? Yes,
luckily, touchwood, I got a scholarship of up to 35%. So I was getting up to $24,000 waived off. Mm-hmm. And the remaining $67,000, I had to finance it with the help of my dad. And I obviously took student loan. I got a student loan with Union Bank from India. And my dad...
Now, talking about what are the things you think कि आपको अपने master's experience में you don't like about it, you would change because you have chosen you took the right decisions, right? So
Yes.
far, you chose the financial capital. You chose, the city with most billionaires. It's financial capital, tech capital, everything you want to talk about. New York City is biggest in its own way for that field.
Yes.
Whether you're doing business analytics. So, what are the decisions you took to study here? You think were correct, and what were wrong?
I think I would really rethink my expenses because, or I'd really think about, how I could have more wisely spent my money living in the city. I also happened to stumble upon Kimber Health because of my sister, and I think this is my biggest life changer so far because Kimber Health gave me this OTC card. It's basically like a healthcare card that you can use at pharmacy stores like Walgreens and CVS, and they credit like $75 every quarter, and you can just spend it on like shampoos, body wash, body care, dairy products.
Everything health related, proteins, vitamins.
Exactly, your supplements. But I think OTC covers all of these things, and also your medications help me with my gym membership, which is really, really cool.
Now, continuing with the decisions you took, right? So you did the right decision by choosing Kimber Health, and any international student watching, they can absolutely go ahead. In every part of US, they can choose to get Kimber Health. It's very affordable everywhere, but in New York City,
part of US,
it's
it's only for New York State.
In New York State, it's free.
Yes.
But every other state, it's available. So because of state government of New York,
Yes.
they give it for free to F1 students.
Yes.
But every other part of US, they can get it for affordable and get the refund from the university.
Of course, yeah.
And how easy was it for you to get the refund from the university for Kimber Health?
Really sadly for me, I wasn't aware of Kimber Health. I got to know about Kimber Health after my sister told me about it. And this was when I was still interning in Texas. And I couldn't use it, but I did tell a lot of my friends, and I think they are in love with it. So this works well, very, very well for students in New York State, currently residing in New York State, and who also don't have a job, or who have a job but are earning less than $37,000 per month. I mean, per annum.
Oh, okay, sure. So basically, if you're an OPT2 and if you make less than $37,000 a year, you can still use Kimber Health.
Yes.
Wow, this is incredible.
I know, right?
Yeah, so because currently students are struggling to get a job.
I know.
So this is very helpful for them.
It's just very, very expensive in this country, to be exact. So getting Kimber Health really helps students, and they also have this, free wellness checkup, and also covers free dental and vision.
That is even companies don't provide that.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Now these are the decisions you took right, but what were the wrong decisions?
I think the wrong decision that I took was not starting my job search right as soon as I got here. I think that's one thing I tell every single student who's looking to pursue their career here, because job search starts the moment you decide that you got into a university. Now you're planning your accommodation, everything. Start looking for a job immediately.
Absolutely.
Immediately.
And put in LinkedIn, you can put upcoming student at University of Rochester,
Exactly.
NYU, and use that for networking immediately. Apply immediately, and some people before coming to US have internships lined up.
Exactly. I mean, that's so cool because for me, Simon Business School has our own career center called Bennett Career Center, and we have career advisors to guide us with our, resumes and job search and interviews. So that was also really cool and helpful. But again, it's all with you and up to you, how much effort you put into your own job search and how consistent you are with it.
Brilliant.
Yes.
Now, talking about the best decision of coming to New York City, what was the best thing that happened in New York City for you that, personally, you think that made it all worth it coming here?
I think it's just the people here. The people here are so fast. Again, I know you like it and enjoy, that laid back and very, being lazing around and all that. But again, I think time is of a really important essence, and it's important for people to know how well they're able to manage their time. I think that's one thing that New York City taught me very well. Because you see so many people, so many coming from so many different ways and walks of life, doing their own thing. It's just it's a wonder to just look at them and just people watch. It's a nice activity. You can just go to Central Park or any other park, Washington Square Park, just sit there, read a book, just, just enjoy nature, just look at the dogs, very cute, very nice. I think it's just a lifestyle of New York City that just really very attractive for someone who's not from New York.
But it's also the loneliest city in the world.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
How many times you have felt lonely or maybe cried in here?
I haven't.
You haven't
Because
cried?
I happen to live with my sister and I have her friends. So if you like being alone, I think this is the perfect city for you. Some people just enjoy their own company. So that's really cool too.
So now you made it all the way, dream come true, but many students are struggling to get a job. So what are the ways people are using around you to stop their OPT clock? Because you have to find a job in 2 months.
Of course. So, look out for some sort of project work or anything that's like an unpaid internship or like a part-time job which is unpaid.
And it stops the clock immediately.
Yeah, it stops your OPT clock immediately.
So
So it gives you more time to look for a job. But the downside is, again, you have to cover your own expenses.
But so they give you an offer letter, you can just link it to your OPT and they handle everything,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So now, so what percentage of students were able to get a job in your batch?
So a lot of students did get their job offers back in 2023 itself. 80 to 85% of them have been placed.
Nice, that's pretty high rate.
Surprisingly, it is.
So business analytics.
Yes.
Oh, nice. It's pretty big because I have never seen that much in tech. For example, I went to Stony Brook, 10%.
Yeah.
NYU also 40%, 50%. So what do you think about business analytics as a field? Many people getting job in this field. So you think it has big hype in the US?
I think not just about the US, it is a very hot topic. It started off as a really hot topic during the pandemic. I think there are a lot of other courses, even back in India, you had other universities opening up courseworks in business analytics. And then a lot of elsewhere too, even in Europe and the UK. So I think business analytics is with AI and machine learning and generative AI being the new buzzword right now, people are scared that it's going to, AI is going to come for their jobs. But again, I think as long as you're good, keeping up, you're upskilling yourself and keeping up with your skill sets, you're owning your skill sets, practicing your coding and just, working on yourself and making sure you're able to create an impact within your organization, I think everything's good.
So you learned all the AI techniques, right? You learned about Python, R,
Yes.
all the statistical knowledge which is required for all the data scientists all there. So basically your skills are transferable to data science as well, right?
Yes.
So what kind of jobs do you apply with this business analytics degree?
Again, it depends on what undergraduate degree you were pursuing. For me, I happen to do a major in accounting and finance. So I think it is convenient for me to look for jobs in the finance and accounting industry. But again, if you're not really interested in that particular industry, you can still look for data analyst positions elsewhere too in other industries. The thing about business analytics is it's a very versatile field. You can apply these skills and everything, your knowledge, in other industries too. So this is something that I really love about business analytics.
True. And what made you interested in business analytics? So what was the point? Can you walk me through the journey of choosing one day I will do business analytics?
Yes. So in my undergrad, I was doing this internship with Grant Thornton. Because I majored in accounting, I got an internship as a data analytics internal audit intern with GT. And it was a particularly new term for us because back then all that I would think about was auditing, internal audit and just other things like FP&A and all of that. But again, data analytics was a relatively new thing for me, and to be able to put in some coursework and to work with that was something new and interesting for me. And that's when I'm this is a new term, maybe I should explore and look into that. And then I obviously started working full-time with Accenture, and I was working with FP&A then, and I really did not enjoy what I was doing then. And I thought maybe this is not something for me. I'm not cut out to do something like this every day. So I just thought I'd explore my options, see what I really like. And that's when I started exploring this theme. Analytics is a new thing right now. So maybe I should look into that. And I did some research, and that's when I learned about business analytics. And so many universities were providing, courses in business analytics. And that's when I thought, like, maybe this is what I want to do. I think this is really my calling right now. So that's how it started.
Oh, nice. So because of your accounting skills, you got interested into analytics.
Yes.
And that's how you looked into careers, and you found business analytics is a required major in many companies as
Yes.
well. And wahan se you found out, this is a major you can pursue as well. Okay. So how's the student life at Rochester? You told me many students apply for Canadian visa because it's so close to Canada.
Exactly.
So how many students go to Canada just to घूमने तो जाते ही हैं. How many students actually go to work there in Canada too?
I just know people going to Canada to just, I think I don't want to call it Canada. There are a lot of, because Rochester happens to be so close to Niagara Falls, people just go there during holidays, during Thanksgiving break or spring break to just, drive to Buffalo and just visit Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
So you see the Canadian side too, and you can see people in the US on the US side wearing blue capes and people on the Canadian side wearing pink capes. It's just very fun to look at.
Yeah, I mean, when I took my bus from Toronto to New York City, actually Buffalo to New York City, it was Buffalo, then Rochester, then Syracuse.
Yes.
So and then all of these cities, and then
Doesn't it have an amazing view from the bus? Like riding down.
Yeah, I mean, it was an amazing view.
Yeah.
I could see the colors of Niagara Falls at night, especially.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is amazing, but so far, I mean, 5-6 hours कहने की बात होती है. Like to me, based on traffic, to come to New York City was 7-8 hours.
Yes. That makes so much sense.
So you went to the business school of Rochester, right?
Yes.
Which is called Simon.
Yes.
So business school mein, how many students you think are doing MBA or business analytics? What is the hype there?
I think nothing about the hype or something. It's just, I think University of Rochester, the business school, graduate part of Simon Business School, has a very big international diaspora. You have a lot of Indian students, you have a lot of Chinese students, you have students coming in from so many different parts of Europe, and it's just filled. It's like a nice, it is truly a part of, melting culture, because you get to interact with people from different places to, talk about their food, talk about their culture. It's very nice to look at them and just listen to them, and it's very nice.
Pretty cool. Do you think Rochester University has enough Indian events?
Yes, it does.
How many Indian students it has? Enough?
Rochester has a lot of Indian students. A lot. I was also part of the Hindu Student Association at Rochester. It's a student-led association, mainly undergraduate students. But again, they were very instrumental in organizing events for Indian festivities such as Diwali, Holi, Sankranti, Dashera, everything. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I have seen New York City, if you go to even a theater, all the tickets for Bollywood movies are running out so fast. The Indian community is very strong around New York. So, how often do you come to New York?
The thing is, Rochester is closer to Toronto than it is to New York City. So you get to experience the winter very similar to Canada than how other people experience it in New York City. But by car, it's 5.5 hours. So by bus, it'll be around 6 hours. For someone who hasn't experienced snow or winters in America, driving on these icy roads can be really dangerous, can lead to accidents and so many different disasters. So it was good, but it did take a lot more than 5.5 hours for us to get to New York City. But it was a fun ride. The view is good. You see snowy trees, snowy roads, and it's beautiful.
It was very nice talking to you, Kavana. Thank you so much for sharing your experience.
Of course, Harnoor.
Any final advice for students?
I think you guys you're going to have a wonderful experience here. This is a wonderful ride. Just, buckle your seats and just stay tuned and just be excited. You're going to do great.
Amazing. Thank you so much again, Kavana. Thank you.